Hari ini topiknya adalah bagaimana menjadi seorang pemimpin rapat yang efektif, yang efisien. Sir Harry?
Thank you very much, Pak Hendra, my good friend, as well as LTI for allowing me this opportunity to share some ideas about how we chair meetings. Now, saya akan coba dalam dua bahasa ya. Tapi excuse me if my bahasa is not very fluent. Jadi saya akan coba. Yang penting the main point is communicated to you. Now, this evening kita akan membahas how to become a good chairperson. Last time we call chairman, tapi sekarang untuk political correctness kita harus bilang chairperson because many times it is a lady, a ibu, wanita yang jadi chairperson, the pemimpin of a meeting. And this reminds me of a story. I was 24 years old, just graduated, baru aja, very green, hijau, came out of university. And I was a barrister in London. Now, I was told one day I had to chair a meeting. Saya harus jadi pemimpin meeting, rapat. And of course, I went for the rapat, and there were maybe about 20 lawyers, 20 pengacara Inggris in this meeting. And because, dan kerana saya belum ada instruksi atau mentor yang mengajar saya gimana caranya untuk memimpin dengan baik dan efisien, it was a disastrous meeting. Kalau bilang itu disaster, malapetaka, that is understatement. It was a horrible meeting. I couldn't control the crowd. I couldn't control the people talking to each other. Orang jadi marah. And at the end of the day, overall, I give myself a fail, gagal. I was a very, very bad chairperson. Tapi through the years, and with experience, I slowly learned caranya untuk jadi pemimpin yang efisien dan baik. And through the years, I've had the opportunity, many opportunities untuk menjadi pemimpin of the meeting for small groups in schools, sometimes 6 people, sometimes 20 people, sometimes 30 people. In my service organizations, I've been a lion. I am as well, for many years, I've been a Toastmaster. I've had many chances to chair meetings. And as I learned how to become a more effective chairman, I learned a lot of tips along the way. Now, malam ini, I'm going to introduce you to a way in which you can become a better chairperson. And this is called the Roberts Rules. I'll say that again, the Roberts Rules. Dan kalau kita lihat di slide ini, di bawah, an introduction to the Robert Rules, how to chair meetings effectively. Jadi itu fokus kita, the Robert Rules, and how you use the rule to actually be a good chairperson, either dalam your office, that means working in a commercial situation or institution, for example, in your school or your university, as well as in a service organization, for example, Lions or Toastmasters International. And in fact, some people even have family meetings, right? Kita, what to decide? Kita mau holiday kemana? Christmas to New Year. And then you call for a family meeting with your adult children, and then everybody talks. Now, in every situation, you want to have a chairperson who is fair and who follows the rules. So tonight, that is our focus. Our focus is about how we can become more effective by having the rules. Now, selain dari itu, kita juga harus tahu not only how to chair, gimana jadi pemimpinnya, tetapi apanya the hak dan tanggung jawab dan rights sebagai a member of the meeting. So you want to know the Robert rules, bukan cuman how to be a chairman, but if you are in a meeting, how do you exercise your rights? What are your rights in a meeting? And Robert's rules actually teaches you how to exercise your rights as a member of the organization. Jadi kalau kita go for a meeting, kapan saya bisa mengucap something? When can I say something? What can I do? What are my rights? Right, so this is what we're talking about. Sharing your meeting. Now, kenapa chop-chop? Ada yang tanya tadi siang, chop-chop itu apa? Chop-chop itu fast and efficient. Itu maksud saya. Sharing your meeting with chop-chop, so you don't waste everybody's time. So let's go to the first slide. The first slide is why the importance of having a good chairperson. Kenapa kita harus ada chairperson of a meeting yang efficient dan bagus? Okay, here are some reasons. First and most obvious, yeah, time is valuable. Okay, time is valuable. So many of us, pikir sendiri, how many times kita pernah ke meeting di mana chairperson, pemimpin meetingnya, rapatnya, yang kurang efektif. Frustrasi nggak? Pasti frustrasi. You go there, this one talk, that one talk, ini jadi lama, and nothing is decided. You never get to the inti of the problem, or the problem is never solved. Just meeting lagi, meeting lagi, meeting lagi. Time is valuable. Don't waste people's time. So what I always tell people who are chairperson, orang yang akan jadi chairperson, please don't waste people's time. And Robert's rules is designed to don't waste people's time. We'll talk about the Robert rules nanti aja. Now, the second garis besar about chairing a meeting is that usually, biasanya, the majority rules. We are a democracy, jadi the majority rules. Yang penting dapat 51% itu yang jadi keputusan rapat. So, for example, Lions Club, Toastmasters International, as long as 51% of the members decide something, everybody will follow. Tetapi kita must not forget, kita harus memperingatkan that the minority needs to feel that they have been heard. Listen to my words very carefully. The minority need to feel that they have been heard. So we are balancing two things. Majority will vote, but the minority who do not win the vote harus merasa bahwa dia dapat kesempatan untuk share their view and their opinion. So this is the tiga garis besar, right? The three big ideas. Don't waste time. Always put it to a vote. Selalu ada vote. And the majority wins, 51% wins. But the minority must have a chance to talk in a meeting. Now, in this talk today, because kita cuma ada sejam ya, jadi singkat sekali, we'll make a distinction between formal meeting and less formal meeting. Biar saya kasih contoh. Right? A formal meeting, for example, is an EOGM, an extraordinary general meeting. An AGM would be the annual general meeting of a board of directors of a company. Let's say Lions International will have a district meeting. For the Toastmasters, they have area meeting, division meetings, and these are more formal meetings, right? And then you have less formal meetings. Meetings in a school, for example, you want to decide on, let's say we're going to have an open house, right? Many of you here attended a meeting about the open house. Now, these are less formal meetings. So many of the things I will share with you tonight, they are actually for both formal and less formal. Dan kalau saya harus buat distinction ya, harus ada perbedaan ya, I will point it out when I give the speech. Okay, so remember in your mind that there are formal meetings with a lot of rules and there are less formal meetings. And the last thing I want to share with you is this. Being a chairperson of a meeting is all about intervention, intervensi. As the chairperson, you are always interrupting people. And many times, ya, bapak-bapak, ibu-ibu, itu rasa tidak enak, kurang enak. Sometimes you have to stop people. Sometimes you have to say, sorry, you talk too long. You are repeating yourself. Stop repeating. Just make your point. Let people hear and then we vote. Being a good chairperson selalunya involves intervensi. If you are quiet for the whole meeting, you're not doing your job. A chairperson who goes to a meeting and just doesn't say anything, doesn't have any intervention, tidak rasa tak enak, rasa enak the whole way, you're not doing your job. A good chairperson controls the meeting because there are rules. That's why you have rules. So let's go now to the main rule book. Semua rule ada rule book ya. Jadi ini rule booknya dan dinamakan, remember this name, the Roberts Rules. Now, the Roberts Rules is a very old book. And if you buy it from the shop, don't talk about electronic copy ya. Sekarang saya juga pakai electronic copy-nya. Robert Rule Book is nearly 650 pages long. 650 halaman in the Roberts Rules books. And there are hundreds, maybe 1,000 rules inside the book. Now, this Robert Rule Book, apa sejarahnya very quickly, right? It was actually designed by a US Army person, ya, orang ABRI. And he went to a meeting and everybody at the meeting was shouting at each other. Semua kacau, ricuh. Sometimes our parliament also looks like that, right? Taiwanese parliament, even some of our meetings, everyone's shouting at each other. Now he saw that happening and he said, my God, we must have rules. And he's the one who sat down and he started writing rules. He started trying to be fair. Always dia bertimbang. Majority rule versus minoritas yang harus didengarin. Yang harus terdengar. Rasa dia ada kesempatan to share their negative or their minority view. So he came up with these rules. And by the way, rule ini, he made it in 1876. Yes, more than 100 over years ago, nearly 150 years ago. So they came up with the Roberts Rules. And in 1876, that was the first publication. But what we use today, most organizations like Lions, Toastmaster, the British Parliament, all of these organizations, charities, they use the latest version, which is called Roberts Rules of Order, newly revised, right? And this becomes the standard. Jadi biasanya kalau kita lihat bylaws, let's say the bylaws of Toastmasters or the bylaws of Select Committee, nanti dia akan bilang, we incorporate, kita terima Roberts Rules of Order newly revised sebagai cara untuk melaksanakan rapat. Okay, so that's how Robert Rules become the Bible, jadi kitabnya of how to run a meeting in your organization, whether your organization is Toastmasters or your organization is a school. You decide at the beginning that the Robert Rules yang diterima sebagai cara untuk melaksanakan rapat. Now, let's look at some of the main points. I'm not going to ask you to read 641 pages. Apalagi ya, it's very tiring. It's a very good tranquilizer, make you sleep. If you want to sleep, you cannot sleep, ada insomnia, silakan aja Pak Hendra beli satu kopi Robert Rule, baca aja. I promise you sudah 2 halaman pasti sudah tidur. Okay, it's very very boring. Okay, I myself have not read every part of the Roberts Rules, but here I'm going to show you or explain to you some of the major highlights of the Roberts Rules. And konteksnya adalah voluntary organization. Jadi this is not a commercial company. A commercial company board of directors meeting may be different. I'm talking about a volunteer organization. So here are some of the rules. And as you listen to the rules, pikirkan, apakah rule ini bagus? Apakah kita harus adopsi rules ini sebagai cara untuk melaksanakan or how to run a meeting? And as a chairperson, is this the kind of rule that I want when I have a meeting? Okay, so let's go to some of the major ideas. The first idea is assure fairness. In a voluntary organization, biasanya one man, one vote. And that is the isi of every democratic process. That is in parliament or whether one man, one vote. The Roberts Rules must also facilitate deliberation. Apa artinya? It has to help, harus help the members to discuss things. Sounds simple, right? Discuss things. But Roberts Rule tell you how to discuss things. And there are some rules. First rule of facilitate deliberation is one motion at one time. Let me repeat that, yeah? One motion at one time. That means you decide item by item. Satu, ini sudah selesai, baru kita move to item number 2. Now, you yourself are very experienced. Many of you in this room are very experienced people. Berapa kali you go to a meeting? Nanti orang ini mau discuss itu, all over the place. Akhirnya kacau. Roberts Rules require one deliberation at one time. So you're only thinking about one issue. Now, issue dia dipanggil motion. And I will explain that in a few minutes. Okay? And of course, when people feel, kalau orang merasa, saya masuk ke rapat, walaupun saya tidak dapat yang saya mau, tetapi saya dikasih kesempatan untuk ekspresi opini saya, they are more likely to accept the decision. Right? You go to a meeting, you go to a meeting and then, okay, sekarang kita harus buat keputusan. Kamar ini dicat biru atau dicat hijau? Saya lebih suka hijau lah. Ya hijau. Nah, orang yang lebih suka biru, yang belum ada kesempatan untuk mengekspresi opini dia akan rasa, gimana sih? Saya belum mengucap my opinion, the decision is made. So, when you say, siapa yang suka biru, tolong angkat tangan, tolong ekspresinya. Dan the one say, biru lebih bagus. Okay, siapa yang suka hijau? And then you let the hijau talk. Nah, let's put it to a vote. Ayo kita angkat tangan. Siapa mau biru? 3 orang. Siapa mau hijau? 7 orang. Okay, hijau. Now the people who are blue are more likely, lebih, to accept that answer because they felt that they were participating in the decision-making process. Proses decision-making ini melibatkan orang yang walaupun tidak dapat yang sesuai dengan keinginan mereka, tetapi they had an opportunity dan kesempatan untuk share their views, right? So the rights of the members must always be jaga. The right of a person attending a meeting, one of them is the right to be heard. Now, banyak sekali meeting-meeting di mana people get shut down. So the chairperson, karena tidak suka, I say, don't like Mr. Harry, always asking stupid question, wasting time. Harry cannot talk. Now that is going against the Robert rules. And Robert's rules say that every member of a meeting has a right to be heard. Ada hak untuk didengar, must have a time to actually say and give your opinion about something. Okay. Now we're going to go a bit technical, yeah, sedikit. Now, we talk about issues. Kamarnya hijau atau biru. In a more formal meeting, lebih formal ya, biasanya you will come across the word, kata yang dipakai is to make a motion. To make a motion. When you want to make a decision, sebagai chairperson, you ask, would anyone like to propose a motion? Apakah ada orang yang mau proposal a motion? Now, one person, let's for example, Hendra. Mr. Hendra will say, I propose the motion that the room is painted green. Okay? Kamarnya dicat warna hijau. I will say, is there anyone to second the motion? Second the motion. Is there anyone to second the motion? Let's say Ibu Helen says, I second the motion. Itu every motion, listen to the rule. Every motion must have a proposer and a seconder. Sesudah itu, as chairperson, you announce, all right, let's have a discussion. Mari kita berbincang. Now, you always give, selalu kasih proposalnya untuk bicara dulu. Okay, Mr. Hendra and Ibu Helen, kenapa hijau? Silakan 2 minit waktunya. Then Hendra will talk, oh, green is a nice color, blah, 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 blah. Yeah? Then you say, would anyone else like to join the discussion? Nah, maybe Logos Transformation Institute will say, I want to talk. Then you say, okay, 2 minit, silakan. What you want to say? Then Logos will say, I think blue is better than green. Biru lebih bagus dari hijau karena. And then they give you the reasons. Then you ask, right? Anyone else ada pendapat yang lain, yang baru? Then Hendra said, saya mau jawab lagi. Nah, that's when you intervene. Sorry, Mr. Hendra, you sudah bicara 2 minit. Biar member yang lain, sorry, you sudah bicara. Don't let Hendra talk again. Because he's had his opportunity, sudah ada kesempatan to share his view. Then you say, if there's nothing else, ayo, kita vote sekarang. Who wants blue, put up your hand. Who wants green, put up your hand. Okay, green win, jadi hijau aja. Itu keputusan rapat ini. And that is how you allow everyone the right to be heard. Everyone has a chance to mengucapkan their opinion about the motion. Okay, so I'll go very quickly again. Motion is proposed. Motion is seconded. Open for discussion. Anyone wants to talk about opposing view? Let's put it to a vote. Then you vote, and then the chairperson announce the result. Untuk hijau 7, untuk biru 3. Jadi keputusan rapat ini adalah kita akan cat hijau. And that is a cycle that you do over and over again. And that, according to the Roberts rules, is the most efficient way of going through the items on your agenda. All members, here's another rule. All members have a right to vote. Okay? And you cannot take the right away. Sebagai pemimpinnya, you cannot say, I don't like these people. You shouldn't be allowed to vote because they all have right to vote. Now, biasanya, if you have a meeting of less than 10 people, itu tidak jadi masalah. But there are some meetings that I chair or not chair, but I'm the parliamentarian. That means I advise on the procedures. We have one organization that I just did a meeting about 3 months ago, dan kita ada 120 klub, itu 240 orang yang bisa vote. They can attend and they can vote, plus about another 30 people who have rights and votes. So this was a meeting, ya, ibu-ibu, bapak-bapak, with about 270 to 300 votes. You can imagine kalau kita tidak pakai rules, if we don't follow procedure, kacau sekali. Everybody's talking, there special agendas, all kinds of problems will happen. So you want to have these rules supaya the meeting is fast and keputusannya jelas. Okay, let's move to the last. Members have to be heard, but the majority decides. Ujung-ujungnya, everything is put to a vote for a voluntary organization. Yeah, bukan in a commercial. Usually commercial, the boss decides, right? You can talk, but there's still a meeting. You can talk, but it's usually not voted. Kecuali bosnya bilang, okay, I don't care, I don't mind, dua-dua juga okay. Kamu decide aja, then you can have a vote. And then you say majority wins, minority loses. Okay, so that's Robert rules in a voluntary organization. Here are some more Robert's rules. Now, if you are getting bored, bertahan aja. It's just a little bit more about the Robert's rules, then I'll go to something a little different, more mungkin lebih relevant to you. Okay. A notice of a meeting for a formal meeting. Ini yang terpenting. And usually your bylaws will tell you the period of notice. The period of notice is usually 14 days. Kita harus kasih notifikasi, kita akan ada rapat pada hari ini, jam ini, dan tempatnya. Okay, so you must give a notice of meeting. Then you have what's called the agenda. Every meeting harus ada agenda. Dan kalau bisa, agenda ini ditampilkan or you have to attach it to the notice of meeting. Why? You must do this so that people who go for the meeting know what the meeting is about. Don't call for a meeting without telling people what the meeting is about. Bayangkan aja, or remember, pasti ada orang di sini yang ada kenangan yang kurang manis, kurang enak. Go and see the principal. The principal wants to meet you at 1 o'clock. Tak bisa makan lunch dengan tenang. Makan siangnya tidak tenang. Apa ya? Kenapa ya? Ada apa ya? You'll be thinking, what does my boss want to meet me about? Or what is this meeting about? I don't know. Oh my God, oh my God. It spoils your whole lunch. So when you are chairperson, don't do that to your bawahan. Tell them what the meeting is about. Jam 3 kita meeting karena untuk bicara ini atau masalah ini. So people can be more prepared when they come for your meeting. People who come for a meeting that are efficient, have chair people, the person who called the meeting, who are very, very clear about what the meeting is about. And what the meeting is about is called the agenda. Now, the agenda tidak seharusnya ditulis. If you are a bigger meeting, Toastmaster or Lions or Rotarians, yes, the agenda is very clear. 1, 2, 3, 4 item yang dibahas. Sometimes you have a weekly meeting, a reporting meeting, a coordination meeting. In that case, many times the agenda sudah jadi biasa. Like for example, in Temasek, MEMI doesn't have to send an agenda because we know we come for the meeting, it will be TK first, primary report, secondary report, and then academic directors, and then MEMI last. we don't need a written agenda because by custom, karena sudah biasa, we know when we have to talk and when we have to give our report. Okay, so that's the agenda. Now, here's another thing for bigger meetings. Ya, ini juga untuk yang formal. A lot of people say agenda harus 14 hari sebelum notice of meetingnya. At the same time, ya, notice of meeting plus agenda dikirim at the same time. That's not true. An agenda is actually not the agenda unless and until sampai dan kalau dia diadopsi sebagai agenda at the meeting itself. So let's say I'm doing a meeting. I will send out an agenda. Now, one of the first things, in fact, the first thing I do at the meeting is I have to bahas. This is the agenda. Any objections? All okay with this agenda? Now, the meeting, the members will say agree or disagree. And the members can disagree. Let's say I call for a meeting and then I say the agenda is to discuss the school's open house. And it's actually a democracy. And then everybody, I said, can you follow this agenda? No. We want to just sit down and drink coffee and order Jco donuts. There's nothing I can do because they are the members of the meeting. So we just sit around and have Jco donuts and that's it. That's the meeting. I can't do anything. Okay, so an agenda must be adopted. So if you are the chairperson of a formal meeting, remember the agenda can be changed at any time dan harus diadopsi dengan the members who attend the meeting at the meeting, right? This adoption of the agenda. I've already shown you how to propose and second a motion. Jadi setiap motion, everything that you want to discuss, one person must propose, the second person will second the motion, and then open for discussion. After discussion, put it to a vote. As a chairperson, you put it, listen to the word, yeah, put it to a vote. I'm going to put it to a vote. And then you announce the result. And the last thing you say is either the motion, dengar ya, the motion is either passed artinya di-okay, disetujui dengan majoritinya, defeated artinya tidak dapat cukup suara, less than 51%, or postponed. Sometimes in a meeting, remember if you go to a big meeting, let's say Debbie, for example, goes to the district meeting with 200 over other voting members there. You can also ask for the motion to be postponed. What does this mean? That means kalau hari ini jangan buat keputusan dulu. Mungkin kerana datanya belum lengkap atau ada evidence bukti-bukti yang lain yang kita mau dengar atau orang yang benar-benar expert dan jagonya, ahlinya belum datang kerana masalah apa. So you can say, let's postpone this. Sudah, we don't make a decision. We wait until the next meeting to make this decision. But a motion must be disposed by a vote. Once it's a motion on the floor, katanya a motion on the floor, right? You have a motion on the floor. It must either be passed, it must be defeated, or it can be postponed. Sometimes you also see the word table the motion. So if you go to a EOGM of a public listed company or you have a private company, you can table the motion. Itu artinya tunggu aja, nanti kita buat keputusan. We don't want to pass, we don't want to defeat, kita tunggu aja. Okay? Now, when can a member propose a motion? Okay. Biasanya by convention. By convention artinya biasanya. The customary rule is any other business. Okay? So if you look at a normal agenda, kita akan lihat adoption of the agenda, adoption of the last meeting of the board of directors. Then you have items, okay, updates. So everybody will do their report, for example. Sesudah new matters. Ada something in the agenda called new matters. Dan ada something usually called any other matter. Kalau bukan any other matter, AOB, any other business. Now, this is the time when you as a member, so don't talk about you as a chairman, you as a member, any member, so long as you have a right to be there, bisa angkat suara, put your hand up and say, Mr. Chairman, I have a motion. Now, biasanya, the chairperson cannot insist that the member put it in writing or give notice. No. You can ask people if you have, if as chairman sebagai chairperson, kita bisa tanya, kita bisa minta membersnya. Kalau ada apa-apa ya yang aneh-aneh yang mau dipas, tolonglah kasih tahu sebelumnya supaya kita bisa ready to jawab your question. But that doesn't mean that at a meeting, the members cannot say anything. Okay? In America, for example, the people who are the most noisy at a public listed company are the minority shareholders. Nanti mereka akan beli satu lot aja 1,000 saham dalam company Alphabet. Nanti mereka akan ke sana buat kecoh, ricuh, almost like a bloody riot. They put their hand up, they ask stupid questions, they pass motion. But what can you do? Nothing, because they have a right to be heard. If it's a shareholders meeting, every shareholder, even a person who has only satu saham, has a right to be heard. And as chairperson, sebagai chairperson, kita harus let them exercise their right. Kita harus melaksanakan and let them say what they want. Okay, and we cannot stop people from talking, and you cannot kick people out of the room. Ini pernah saya lihat ya, mungkin sudah 3-4 kali. The chairperson kick the member out of the room. Say, no, you talk again. You will be expelled from this meeting. Sudah di-expel, we sued the company and we sued the chairman. And my client made a few $1 million free because you stopped him from exercising his right as a member. So if you're a member, you have a right to propose a motion at any time. Okay, so those are some of the Roberts rules. I'm looking at the time, and let's go through a quick summary. Always set a clear agenda, share it in advance. We're talking about service organizations. Jangan lupa ya, we're talking about more formal meetings. So set a clear agenda, share it in advance. Start and end on time, please. Usually, Toastmasters are famous for this. We like to tell people 2 minutes for you, 3 minutes for you, and you can put that in your agenda. Okay, you can say, Mr. Hendra, you can only talk for 3 minutes. Ibu Helen, you can only talk for 2 minutes. Logos, you can only talk for 3 minutes. So give everybody timings. And everybody will say, terima kasih, yeah. Otherwise, your meeting will never end. 2 hari, 2 malam pun belum selesai meetingnya, because everybody have a lot to say. Especially in Indonesia. Kasih orang microphone, they don't know how to put the microphone down. They just talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. Right? So give them a time limit, let them know what they're going to talk about and how long they have. So always establish speaking times. So as a chairperson of a big formal meeting, you always want to say, kalau bisa everybody ya, kita kalau debat, satu orang jangan lebih dari 2 minit. Kita akan dengar untuk 2 minit. Ya, setuju ya semua? Okay, we carry on. Let everybody know how long they have to discuss during a debate of a motion. And always teach your members about the Roberts rules. There's a lot of material online, and there's a lot of material now. I mean, this whole training this evening, this talk is being recorded. You can take it and basically have gone through the major points about the Roberts rules. So let your members watch it. so that at least they know what their rights are as a member and help to train future chairpersons. Always establish respectful behavior. If you look at the Roberts Rules, it also says certain things cannot be discussed. And usually in the bylaws of an organization, it will very clearly tell you what can be discussed, like for example, and what cannot be discussed. Seperti religion, agama, is something that we never talk about in a meeting, unless you're having a meeting in a church, right? But if you're having a normal meeting, then you usually don't talk about race, religion, and this is expanding now. We don't talk about how fat the chairman is or how ugly the woman chairperson is. There are certain taboo things that we don't talk about, and you want to establish respectful behavior from all of your members. And you always discourage interruptions. Now, one word you will hear in the Roberts Rules, dan kalau kita ke rapat-rapat yang biasa, the chairperson will say, the chair recognizes Harry. Now, kalau kita dengar itu, baru kita bisa ngomong. And everyone has to follow that rule. So if I'm the chairperson, kalau saya chairperson, saya bilang, okay, sekarang the chair recognizes Hendra. Then Hendra can talk. Otherwise, everyone quiet. Everyone listens to Hendra. Now, my job is to be fair. Make sure Hendra speaks, keeps to the time limit, and then tell Hendra sometimes I have to intervene again. Intervensi lagi. Mr. Hendra, maaf sudah bicara lebih dari 5 minit. Waktunya cuma 4 minit untuk Mr. Hendra. Silakan Mr. Hendra give us your conclusion. Saya kasih 30 detik lagi. Okay, terima kasih. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Hendra. Let's go to another member. That is called active intervention. Okay, so if you follow the rule that only recognize speaker, cuman if the chairman recognizes you, then you can talk, you have a lot less problem. Masalahnya minimize because everyone follows. Kalau bukan waktu saya untuk atau turn saya untuk bicara, saya diam dan dengar. Diam dan dengar. Nanti kalau saya mau nantang, I put up my hand, the chair recognizes me, baru saya bisa give the opposite view. Okay? Now, always take very detailed minutes. Somebody must be appointed secretary, and the secretary will have to take detailed minutes of the meeting. Why? Because when you work with 200 votes or 300 votes, pasti ada yang will tell you, bukan itu, bukan ini yang saya bilang, bukan the vote was wrong, ini. So take detailed minutes whenever you have a more formal meeting. Okay? Here's a big picture idea for you. And I would encourage for voluntary organizations, let's say you're running a Toastmasters club or you're an area director of Lions International, this is what you want to remember. If there is no leader in the meeting, if there's no agenda and no time limits, then you should have no meeting. Okay? Don't have a meeting. Because this is not a meeting. Meeting tanpa leader, tanpa agenda, tanpa waktu, limitsnya yang terbatas, that's not a meeting. That's just a group of people coming together to curhat-curhat and share opinions. Right? So don't have a meeting like that. Have a proper meeting. So let's go now. Let's put Robert's rules aside and talk about something more practical. And here I'm going to give you very quickly some tips about meetings in your office. We don't have a lot of time, so we're going to go very fast, Mahendra. The same, set a clear agenda and share your agenda in advance. Okay, principals take note. When you call for a meeting, even if it's a simple agenda, put the agenda in writing, share it with your teachers before they come for the meeting. Decide who the participants are. Bukan semuanya harus datang all the time. If the person has nothing to contribute or is not there to do something or have a responsibility in the process, then don't ask them to come. It's a waste of time. So decide who the participants are. Always establish respectful behavior. Saya satu orang yang benar-benar kurang suka. I get very angry when members of my meeting misbehave. They don't know how to behave. They use wrong words. Mereka marah-marah. So what's there to marah-marah? We're talking about an issue, not about a person. Let's talk about the issue, bukan orangnya, right? So you want to establish respectful behavior in every single meeting. And as well, take detailed minutes. Like for example, in my school, we have a meeting where I think less than 3 minutes after the meeting has ended, the minutes of the meeting akan diterbitkan, will be published, shared by the secretary. My very, very good friend, Dr. Phillips. Very good. During the meeting, dia masih ketik. And then as soon as the meeting ends, Ma'am Aileen said, okay, thank you everybody. We dismiss the meeting. Dah, okay, bye everybody. Nanti WA-nya, 3 minit, sudah masuk. Take detailed minutes and share them. Assign action items and deadlines. So for example, in a meeting that we had today, which had about 20 or 25 different items, I think the chairperson, I think it was Eric, plus the chairman of the committee, Miss Irene, she had like 20 over items, but she did it very efficiently. And then she assigned action items. Jadi kamu jangan lupa you are doing it. Now that makes it very clear. And then the secretary, Elwilly, writes that down. Okay, this teacher is supposed to do this by when? So you assign action items and deadlines, things that people have to do. And as a general rule, if you want to be a very good chairman and improve the quality of your meeting, you want to evaluate meetings. You want to sit down as a group and say, guys, for the last 6 months, what do you think about the meetings? Were they good, bad? Can we improve it? Are there people who feel that they're not being heard? Are we too rude? Is it too long? Are we wasting time? How can we make the meeting better? So evaluate your meetings. And that's the meetings in your office. So a principal would have her teachers' meetings or his teachers' meetings. A Toastmaster would have area director meetings or the board of director of your club's meetings. You might be a member of a country club like Bumi Sangkuriang and go for the meetings. All these meetings share things in common, which is basically balancing the rights of the majority against the right of the minority to be heard. Never forget that different meetings call for different style of chairperson. So very quickly, here are some kind of meetings. Some meetings are for information. I call all my teachers together, I give them information. This is usually because I want to make sure everybody has the same information and the same understanding. Then you have coordination meetings. These are usually smaller meetings, but you must follow the same agenda. Bilang, Mr. Hendra, I want to hear your report. Ibu Helen, I want to hear a report about this. Locos, I want to hear your report about that. So that everybody comes to the meeting prepared. Sudah siap to share what they need to share for coordination. And you have problem-solving meetings. You say, we're going to meet next week. We have a problem and we need to solve it. This is the problem. You have to tell people what the problem is so that when they come to the meeting, they are prepared to share and explain their solution about the problem. Don't expect people to come for a problem-solving meeting and then you tell them the problem the first time. Ini masalahnya ya. I haven't had time to process. I have no input. If you really want input in a problem-solving meeting, share the problem. Then you have decision meetings. Meetings where certain decisions have to be made. They are usually very formal, and therefore you have the proposer, seconder, put it to the vote. And then you have the most formal type of meetings, which are AGMs, EOGMs, executive board meetings. So these are the most serious, and they usually follow the Roberts rules, right? So with that, Mr. Hendra, I have finished I'm sorry I took longer than normal. Pak Hendra, maybe we'll take one or two questions before I finish with the closing statement. Pak Uli has a question. Silakan Pak Uli.
Selamat malam, Mr. Ulayas. Pak Hendra,
Ya,
izin
selamat malam.
bertanya. Kalau lihat dengan pemaparan ini, saya teringat kegiatan mendadak itu selalu bisa berhasil dan terlaksana dibandingkan kalau misalkan kegiatannya itu terencana dengan rapi. Karena biasanya kalau ada perencanaan itu, biasanya suka jauh-jauh hari itu suka jadi wacana dan akhirnya tidak jadi. Kalau misalkan ada kegiatan mendadak, biasanya langsung jadi. Bisa. Nah, apakah dalam membuat sebuah kegiatan yang mendadak ini dengan efek Robert's Rules ini bisa termasuk berhasil sehingga acara mendadak pun bisa berjalan dengan lancar. Dan mungkin itu yang saya penasaran karena persepsi kita kalau ada kegiatan tuh mendadak tuh selalu jadi, mungkin ada pengaruh dari Robert's Rules ini. Mungkin itu saja, Ustaz. Terima kasih. Mohon maaf agak
Thank you.
kurang.
Thank you very much, Pak Uli. Kalau if I understand your question, Pak Uli, tanya, it seems like things that are last minute lebih bagus ya. Usually tercapai, but things that are planned have a chance of not going right. I don't agree with that. Dengan segala hormat, ya saya tidak agree with that. I think the success or failure depends always on people, luck, and God. It's all about people. Whether it's last minute or long in planning, if you have the right people, orang yang benar, they understand what to do, they are brave, they have initiative, they can work together, the team will produce good results, whether or not it's mendadak or it's not mendadak. Number two, I think you need God. Yeah, a lot of times underestimated ya. Orang selalu underestimate or forget to say thank you to God for things going well. I think His hand ya, tangan Tuhan Allah yang mendorong kita untuk mencapai sesuatu. So it's people and then it's always about things. So in that sense, that from my point of view, the Roberts rules actually meetings are not made for the Robert rules. Robert rules are for the meetings. So you can have long meetings in advance. It doesn't mean that you're going to mencapai. You can have a very good meeting, but still you will not get the result that we want. So Robert rule itu cuman alat. It's a tool to help you, all of you as chairperson, and Mr. Uli is the principal of our SMP. It will help you to remember or remind you, Pak Uli, to allow everybody to share a view. Yeah, whenever you have a decision or when you have an issue that you want to discuss. So that's Pak Uli. I see another question from Eric. And Eric talks about, he's in the chat box, in Eric's rules, he says custom in Indonesia. So it's not only in Indonesia, this whole idea of musyawarah mufakat, of course, it's about consensus, right? At the end of the day, most people will vote for the people who they like, who are in their gang, and you can't stop that. You try to reach consensus, but sometimes you need to put it to a vote. I mean, we talk very much about Indonesian consensus building. It's part of our Undang-Undang Dasar, right? Musyawarah and all that. But the reality is we still have a vote. We still had a president in the second last election with a 51% vote. You can't vote the president using musyawarah mufakat. So I think this whole idea of musyawarah mufakat is a nice normative idea, meaning that it's nice to talk about as an aspirasi kita is to have musyawarah mufakat. But the reality on the ground in the 21st century now is that people just vote and the majority wins, the minority loses. But Robert's rules make sure that this is done by proper procedure so that the losers can also feel that they had a chance to express their opinion. Okay, so that would be my response to your post there. Thank you very much, Eric. All right, back to you, Pak Hendra.
Okay, Mr. Elias, thank you for your presentation. I just want to add one item maybe, because the preparation is vital element in the meeting. Then in Indonesia right now, the material of the meeting is never been shared before the meeting. Jadi sambil mendengarkan, sambil harus menanggapi, sambil harus berpikir, kadang-kadang tidak sempat, akhirnya memilih untuk diam saja. Mungkin tanggapan saya, jadi mungkin materi dari meetingnya itu sudah beberapa waktu sebelumnya sudah dibagikan, sudah di-share, sehingga kita bisa sedikit berpikir, punya waktu untuk bisa memberikan
refleksi, to be able to think of solutions,
atau mengambil
Very sad.
sudut pandang yang berbeda.
betul.
Itu mungkin dari tambahan sedikit, saya hanya ingin menambahkan sedikit, Mr. Elias. But Pak Hari, it is a very, 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 very luar biasa, very, very extraordinary. Yeah, we are talking about our meeting is a usual habit, and then we don't prepare about the effectiveness of the meeting. Thank you very much, Mr. Heri Elias. Bapak dan Ibu sekalian, jika ada pertanyaan dari Bapak dan Ibu sekalian, mohon disampaikan secara pribadi dan tertulis melalui grup virtual LTI, dan saya akan menyampaikan kepada Pak Heri Elias, dan saya menggaransi bahwa Pak Heri Elias akan dengan sangat senang hati untuk menjawab pertanyaan Bapak dan Ibu sekalian. Baik, Mr. Heri Elias, kalimat penutup barangkali?
Just keep practicing, everybody. The more you get, it's very hard to chair a meeting, especially for new leaders. Yeah, but you get better with experience, right? Prepare yourself for the meeting. There's no, meetings do not happen by magic. Good meetings are good meetings because somebody prepared. And if you are the chairperson, the chairman or the chair lady, it's your job to prepare for the meeting. And don't be shy, Pak Hendra and everybody else, to be awkward. Awkward itu rasa tak enak. To be a good chairperson, to do a meeting fast, short, sharp, and chop, you have to be awkward. Sometimes you have to tell people, I'm sorry, stop talking, let's move on to the next item. Right, that's my penutup, Pak Hendra.
Ibu Aileen, barangkali sebagai host.
Thank you very much, Dr. Hari Elias, for your insightful presentation tonight. And as the closing statement, I think it's important for us to keep on practicing, because again, knowledge without practice it won't materialize into something useful. Okay, thank you very much once again. Terima kasih Pak Hendra.
Terima kasih Bu Aileen. Sekali lagi pertanyaan Bapak dan Ibu sekalian pada Sir Heri Elias mohon disampaikan secara pribadi kepada saya melalui email hkturbobisdevelopment@gmail.com atau 0838 2008 1708 atau via virtual group LTI. Baik Bapak dan Ibu sekalian, terima kasih atas perhatian Bapak dan Ibu sekalian pada malam hari ini. Kita akan ketemu lagi minggu depan untuk membahas topik yang lebih menantang. Selamat malam Bapak dan Ibu sekalian, kita akan ketemu lagi minggu depan.